And just a minute or two here for the players to get warmed up before the start of the game.
Please welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And joining us a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. First for the Pistons, Jennings out there with Rodney Stuckey. And it's Andre Drummond at 6'11", 275 pounds, the big athletic presence out of the University of Connecticut inside at center. Then it's Smith, and it's Monroe in at the power forward. And for the Thunder, the backcourt is Westbrook and Cephalosha. And in the paint, holding down the pivot, a physical and bruising big man at 6'10", Big Perk, Kendrick Perkins. And it's Durant, and it's Ibaka in at the 4 spot.
One of the problems for the Pistons last season was they always seemed to come out after halftime flat. Just couldn't sustain the kind of intensity and focus needed to win consistently. That was a big part of why they had such a tough year.
Well, going back to the Pistons, the third quarter for them was by far their worst scoring quarter. Several points lower than any other quarter they played in, and with the sample size you get over the course of a season, that is no accident.
Well, you know, what you think about now with a team like this is that if it's young, maybe they're not used to the tweaks and the adjustments that other teams are making at them over the halftime break. So this is an area for improvement for this Detroit team.
Now Cephalosha. Following the miss by Brandon Jennings from deep. The shot's good from Westbrook.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
Now here's Jennings. Stuckey outside. It's back to Jennings. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Kevin, thank you. I spoke with the Pistons head coach for just a bit. I asked him what he thought would be the key for them, and he told me dealing with the penetration of Russell Westbrook. He's one of the most explosive athletes in the game. We've got to send him to help and rotate early to deny him finishes at the rim. Guys, that's never easy.
Thanks, Doris.
Russell Westbrook suffering that torn meniscus in his right knee after the collision with the Rockets' Patrick Beverley in the first round of last year's playoffs. Really just derailed the Thunder's hope.
Oh, man, that was unreal.
Mark it up.
He has a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
Yeah,
wow.
that could very well be a contender for Dunk of the Year and perhaps might make its way all over the internet.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Clark. That's a crowd pleaser if I've ever seen one.
He's guarded by Jennings. The dish to Cephalosha. Feeds it to Durant. Kicks to Perkins. 6 to shoot. Shoots it. Off the left rim and out.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
And it's Smith penetrating. Out to Stuckey. And he draws body contact. Looked like a blocking foul, and he was in the shooting motion. So he'll head to the free throw line.
Last season, a hard one for Stuckey. Pistons finally shifted him back to his natural shooting guard position. A lot of people thought he would break out, but instead, he had his lowest field goal percentage and scoring average since his rookie season.
First one falls for him. And towards the end of last season, Rodney Stuckey finally seemed to get untrapped.
Well, I tell you, early in his career, I really liked his potential. He's got tremendous talent, a strong slasher who can get to the line. Those are the kind of players who can usually be relied upon to produce buckets. We'll see how he bounces back.
And so Stuckey nails both of them.
Hey, we all know how hard it was for the Thunder going into last season to trade away their six-man star, James Harden, but it was something that had to be done. They really missed his playmaking ability, though, and I think they missed him in the locker room, too.
And Kevin Durant with the slam.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make in a close game, a potential momentum builder.
And Drummond kicks to Smith. And that one hits back iron. And for the Thunder, a financial decision to trade away Harden. They've already tied up Steve money and big contracts to Durant and to Westbrook, Ibaka, and Perkins.
And Kevin, I think a lot of people question why they didn't keep Harden and maybe move Ibaka or Perkins. I think Perkins would have been maybe the best option, but he's really looked at as their best post defender and a guy who brings leadership and toughness. So it was a very difficult decision, but there's no doubt this team missed James Harden.
You know, even against defense as tight as that, you expect him to bury those.
I don't know. I mean, we've seen him hit those in the past, but like you said, the defender was on him like glue. It would have been quite a bucket.
Stuckey kicks to Smith. Jennings. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
This quarter has not been his best. The defense may be starting to affect him a little bit.
Westbrook dishes to Cephalosha. Back to Westbrook. Five on the clock. Shot from 12. Drummond with the block. Here's Jennings. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Westbrook, he's guarded by Jennings. And not going to let him get that easy dunk. Defense stopping the easy two, but a foul called and a trip to the free throw line instead.
And Westbrook is so dynamic offensively. Guys, his ability to score in transition may be unmatched in this league. And I still think he has potential to be even better defensively. So, incredible how good this guy could be.
Yeah, he has the quickness and speed to dart in and break up a play, whether it's picking off a pass or just taking it out of your hands. You know, with the recent success of Oklahoma City, you forget that in Kevin Durant's first season, they started out going 3-29, and I tell you what, you talk about their success, it's due to the resilience and perseverance and leadership of Kevin Durant and the rest of those guys.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Your Rebco's checked in for Andre Drummond. Kyle Singler comes in for Josh Smith. And Chauncey Billups has subbed in for Rodney Stuckey. No good on the second free throw. Well, there is a culture of hard work, as Clark was talking about, and the perseverance for this Oklahoma City Thunder organization. Their star players, Steve, get a lot of credit, but it's the whole organization, don't you think?
No question. It's the culture that was set. Scott Brooks has continued to kind of establish that atmosphere in the locker room. And they have players who just want to work and want to get better. And when you have a large group of people all with that same approach, you're going to be very successful.
Boy, that was impressive. Major height disadvantage, but he still got the shot up over his man.
Well, he's got the poise to handle any matchup, and he's not easily intimidated. You can see that there.
Jennings passes to Singler. It's back to Jennings. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss. Now here's Lamb, who's guarded by Billups. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. Charlie Villanueva's checked in for Detroit. .59 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Now here's Billups. Not a lot of room. Pass to Caldwell Pope. Fires top of the key. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Durant kicks to Lamb. Outside Jackson. Now the feed to Thabit. Pass to Durant. Shot clock at 6. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Charlie Villanueva. That's his first foul.
Second team foul.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. He dishes it to Collison. And it's blocked by Villanueva. Now Urebko. Outside Billups. Looking to end the drought. That's good. Billups has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
And these two teams continuing to trade blows like heavyweights in the middle of the ring.
So many times tonight, the energy in this building has gone from one way to the other.
And still a close game as the first quarter. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
Big boost from their bench there, guys, in that first quarter. They did a nice job coming in and really giving this team a lift.
Yeah, it's a nice attribute to have. Firepower coming off the pine early. That's good stuff.
Oklahoma City trailing.
You know, one thing with Scott Brooks, guys, he's very consistent with his message. You listen in on those timeouts. It's all about getting stops. Defense, 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 and letting their offense come from that.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Guys, Serge Ibaka was drafted as a raw prospect back in 2008. But over time, his jump shot has really developed. Coach Brooks said he's one of the best pop guys in the league at that position. A 17-footer, I would probably take that shot over anybody on our team. Guys, Ibaka said with all the attention that Westbrook and Durant draw, the team needs someone else to step up. He's trying to be that guy for his teammates.
He certainly is. Thanks, Doris.
Well, we know how talented he is. It's just a question of how good can he become if he continues to put the work in.
And Lamb kicks to Jackson. Dishes to Lamb. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Lamb's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for Oklahoma City. Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. And Clark, you mentioned Brooks' single-mindedness. He stayed pretty constant with his rotations, too.
And there's no doubt players appreciate knowing their role, but, you know, a lot of critics have been surprised at how Brooks has stuck to his lineups. Some lineups that didn't seem to be all that effective. You know, his usual starting lineup with Cephalosha and Perkins on the floor hasn't been their best in terms of plus-minus, but Brooks very loyal to his starting group.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder.
You know, never easy to come back from a torn Achilles, but Chauncey Billups did a pretty nice job of doing so last year after the Achilles shelved him for most of the 2011-12 season.
Durant with it. Single covering. Collison, no good. And going back to Chauncey. Only played 22 games last year, but it was amazing, Clark. He was able to come back at all.
And, Kevin, it helped that he was on a team where he almost never had to be the primary ball handler. That would have put a lot more pressure on that Achilles. But even though he moved okay, his numbers were down, and you have to wonder how many more years he has left.
Clock at 4. Here's Caldwell Pope. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. And the Pistons lead by 2. For Oklahoma City, they've gotten only one of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop. He feeds it to Lamb. Back to Jackson. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. They get it back. Collison. And that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
Andre Drummond's checked in for Charlie Villanueva. Here's Billups.
You know, Detroit, despite how they struggled, did a few good things last year, even though they fell way short of the playoffs. But playing against the Western Conference, playing well against the Western Conference, wasn't one of the things they did well.
He passes to Caldwell Pope. The basket good off the assist from Billups. Caldwell Pope's got 4 this quarter.
He's a lights-out shooter with deep range and a quick release. This guy can really fill it up from the outside.
In the gym range, we call that, Steve. Anywhere in the building, kind of like you in your playing days. He's a decent ball handler, still developing in that area. But he can hit shots off the dribble, too, in a pull-up fashion. You love that. Outstanding athleticism. He's more than just a spot-up shooter. This guy has a lot of game.
Well, as you mentioned, with the Pistons and the West, just a 4-26 record for them, Clark, and with the second worst in the entire league. Steve, only one win better than the Bobcats, who had a league-low 3 in that category. What went wrong there?
Well, it's the youth for sure. They made a lot of mental mistakes. They didn't have that one player who could consistently create his own shot and open up space. That's one of the reasons they went out and got Josh Smith, to try to be that player and that leader.
And Lamb kicks to Jackson. And the Thunder, another 3.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
Singler dishes to Billups. Shot clock at 5. Back to Singler. 3-pointer. Shot misses. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. Clark, their offense has been great here.
Yeah, I love the way they've looked. Really strong and together.
Yeah, and very aggressive, too. Keeping the defense off balance with their ball movement. I like the way they look.
And the basket by Jackson.
I'll tell you what, until this defense gets out and defends the three-point line, I mean, it's going to be a parade.
Yeah, we've already seen 3 in a row from out there.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. So for the Pistons, Monroe comes in for Uredka. And it's Josh Smith in for Kyle Singler. Pistons trail by 7. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Kevin, the Thunder are often seen as getting into one another during games in what looks like heated arguments. But that is the culture they want, as every player can hold each other accountable. Coach Scott Brooks describes it saying, "I'm with them every day." Did they have some competitive moments? Absolutely. But that's how we work here. We challenge each other. It gets chippy. You can't argue with the results, even if it looks like they are always at each other's throats, guys.
I believe it. Those must make for some good battles, Doris. Thanks. For Detroit, they've gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter.
Won't happen right away, but Jeremy Lamb has all the tools, I think, to be a fantastic defender at the NBA level. Young players oftentimes take a couple of years to figure it out defensively, but he's got everything he needs to be elite at that end.
Clock at 6. Smith drives in. Will it go? The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Smith's got his second basket.
Well, they're not shooting as many from outside here in the second quarter.
Well, they were shooting well early on. I like their spacing and their offensive flow. I think they need to get back to that.
Drummond with the block. They retain possession. Misses off the right iron.
Well, I'll tell you what, the mid-range shot is not the easiest one to make. But when you've got daylight like he had there, I mean, those are shots you want to make.
Stuckey passes to Drummond. Back to Stuckey. No luck. Some solid defense from Cephalosha. The Thunder leading by 7. And Lamb kicks to Jackson. Passes to Ibaka. Back to Jackson. Feeds it to Lamb. From the line. And again, it's Oklahoma City.
It was almost like he was surprised to be that wide open, yet he knocked it down.
And so that brings the first half to a close. Thunder out in front, leading by 9. We'll have the start of the third quarter for you shortly. But first, it's the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And now get ready for the halftime report. We're happy to be part of your Sunday. Oklahoma City up on top against Detroit. Textbook defensive play on their part. You couldn't draw it up any better. The scoring leader, Jeremy Lamb. He's got 10 points, and he's had some good court vision, helping out in the assist department as well. And a resilient Pistons team is staying in it. The outside shot just not there for them today, but that certainly hasn't stopped them from trying. We might see some adjustments after the break. Brandon Jennings hasn't made much of an impact so far. His shot isn't falling. He's been ice cold. That'll be it for the halftime report. The second half is coming right up. Hope to see you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And now the third quarter about to get going.
Detroit really is one of the younger teams in the league as far as their core and future are concerned. It's always nice to kind of think what might they become going forward. But they are going to struggle at times, especially on the road.
Oklahoma City's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. He kicks it to Durant. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play. Pistons did have big problems getting wins on the road, and that is one of the reasons why the fans were a bit frustrated with how the team developed over the course of last year. Steve, they just couldn't finish off games when they were the road team.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. Just 11-30 away from the Palace. And, you know, when you're a young team, it takes a lot of mental toughness and growth to be able to close out games on the road. It's something they're still learning.
Jennings dishes to Drummond. The pass to Stuckey. Kicks to Smith. The Pistons working the ball around now. And there's Jennings. That's good on the assist by Smith. 6 points for Brandon Jennings.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
Ibaka with the screen on Jennings. Westbrook gets a screen from Ibaka. Westbrook with it. And Jennings picks him up defensively.
Fellas, that's exactly the job the big guy has to do for him. Contest every rebound.
Stuckey kicks to Smith. Defended by Durant. Here's Drummond. Ibaka with some nice D.
And are they ever working inside? Good job on the glass.
Excellent job on the glass, Steve. I agree. I mean, they're battling in there. They're fighting, they're scrapping, they're clawing, and they're getting the job done.
There's the dish to Cephalosha. Back to Westbrook. Ibaka with the screen on Jennings. Near the three-point line, it's Westbrook. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
And with Harden out of OKC, you knew that Russell Westbrook would have a lot of burden on his shoulders to be a playmaker, and he responded. I think he was very active last year in terms of distributing the ball.
Jennings can't get that one to fall.
More often than not today, those shots have not dropped for him.
Outside Westbrook. Back to Durant. Left side Durant. And Smith with the block.
Well, they need a shot or two to fall here soon. They're only 1 of 4 since the break.
And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play. And for Westbrook playing alongside Durant, some have said he needs to be more of a passer, less of a scorer. Clark at that point guard position.
I think that's some of the most misguided criticism that anybody could levy at him. He is a scorer. He is an aggressive attacking guard. I just think he has to play to his strengths, and that's where he is, and that's who he is. And I think he's fantastic. I don't think there's anybody that's more dangerous in the backcourt than Russell Westbrook.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over.
You know, if you're not a big, strong guard in the NBA, it can be tough going in the paint. But for Brandon Jennings, you know, he's got that floater in the lane. And that's what's allowed him, despite his slight frame, to be able to score in the paint.
And Westbrook, here we go. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. 6 on the shot clock. Cephalosha passes to Westbrook to end the drought, and the basket good. Westbrook's got 8 points. And, you know, going back to Jennings, so fast, incredibly explosive. He can really, Clark, get into the lane.
Yeah, but, you know, he struggled finishing at the rim. Some of that because of his size. Not really a physically imposing guy. Developing that floater and learning to avoid NBA shot blockers is something that he has to continue to develop.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
You know, with so many high hopes, the Thunder seem to be everybody's pick to make it to the finals once again. They were so dominant throughout the regular season. Many thought it was a foregone conclusion, but the injury to Russell Westbrook kind of sidetracked all of that.
Here's Jennings. 9 points in the game so far. Pass to Stuckey. It's back to Jennings. Fires the three. Gets the bucket. Jennings has got 12 in the game. And back to the Thunder in the postseason. They did well to get by the Rockets after Westbrook injured his knee. But, Steve, they just didn't have the same dynamic punch when they later faced the Grizzlies. Ended up getting bounced out in the second round.
Well, it was a tough matchup for them because the Grizzlies are so good defensively. And when you take Westbrook out of the lineup, all of a sudden it changes everything. I thought Oklahoma City battled, but they just didn't have enough firepower without their point guard.
Pass to Stuckey. And there's the feed to Monroe. His first shot coming late. And Detroit again with the bucket. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Here's Westbrook. Westbrook missing again.
You just assume he's going to knock those down when he's as open as he was there.
Here's Stuckey. And there's another one for the Pistons.
They're shooting it quite well now. Again, function of shot selection, ball movement. Guys are in rhythm, confident, free-flowing, and they're knocking down their shot.
Westbrook dishes to Durant. 1:46 left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Westbrook, and there's another one for the Thunder.
Well, he could have earned some style points there, but he really doesn't need to use the fadeaway when he's that wide open.
Here's Jennings. He's got 12. He dishes it to Drummond. He feeds it to Monroe. Ibaka on him. Out to Stuckey. Shot clock at 6. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Their turnaround jumper. The Pistons keep it alive. The second chance effort. Here's Smith. Converts on the jumper for the easy 2. Smith's got 6.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
The Thunder leading by 4. Outside Westbrook. There's 48 seconds left to play in the third. From deep three-point range, can't get it to go. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Smith kicks to Jennings. Dishes it to Drummond. 23 seconds left to play here in the third. Smith up top. Back to Stuckey. He passes it to Smith. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Durant's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Takes the 12-footer and hits. Durant's got 7 points for the quarter.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
The third quarter comes to a close. Thunder lead by 6. All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Oklahoma City.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
And they're getting the ball inside, which is what I like. High percentage shots down on the block and in the paint area.
Monroe, and there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. Monroe's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Detroit. Back to Durant. Pass to Thabit. Outside Westbrook. Goes up on the high post, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. And the Thunder lead by 6.
I'll tell you what, fellas, he loves those mid-range jumpers. I mean, that's where he makes his money.
Now here's Jennings. Out to Stuckey. Takes the three. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. And it's 7 points for Rodney Stuckey. A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. Jennings against Westbrook. Feeds to Cephalosha. Lock at 6. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. Another miss by Westbrook.
Boy, that was way behind the line. Now, he can make that at times.
He certainly is one of the guys that can actually do it from there.
And Monroe backs in. Stuckey outside. He kicks it to Jennings. Russell Westbrook with the rebound. The Thunder leading by 3. Left side, Westbrook. Kicks it to Cephalosha. Fires for 3. Rebounded by the Pistons.
Well, that's clearly a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look at it.
Well, true. The defenders shouldn't relax just because he missed that one. He's capable of getting hot in a hurry.
The drive by Jennings. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Usually the logic is that if you want to win the West, you need to get a lot of wins against the East to pad your record, guys. But the Thunders did dominate the East last season, but not as much as the other teams, and they still won the West.
Well, getting back to the Thunder, as you said, Clark, they took the East to task once again. They were 21-9 against the conference. But, Steve, that was just tied for the 3rd best in the West.
You know, I think a big part of that is that after they made it to the finals for the first time, they played with a target on their back. And I thought every team in the league knew they had to bring their A game to try to kind of make a statement against the Thunder.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Andre Drummond's checked in for Urebka. And it's Smith in for Kyle Singler. And Jennings drops them both. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. And here's Westbrook. Outside Durant. Six to shoot. The fadeaway. Rebounded by Greg Monroe. Monroe's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Stuckey kicks to Smith. Misses off the left iron.
And the defense got away with a major lapse there.
Outside Westbrook. To stop the drought. And fouled as he went up to the dunk. Good aggressive move, and he'll shoot 2.
Detroit needs to do a better job guarding against Russell Westbrook.
12 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
Yeah, and you'd expect by the end of this game, I'm sure the numbers are going to look even better.
And the first one drops. Detroit making a switch. Phillips is checked in. He's perfect from the line this time. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Smith on the wing, defended by Durant. Shoots a fader. And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. Terrible turnover.
Here's Westbrook. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Back to Perkins. And the pass to Westbrook. The dish now to Perkins. Clock at 6. Back to Westbrook. goes up on the wing. No good off the back of the rim. Pistons trailed by 3. Stuckey passes to Billups. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Hi, guys. I had a chance to find out what Scott Brooks was discussing with his players. He told his guys, time's running low. If we're going to make our move, it's going to be now. Are you guys ready? And as they nodded, he said, let's go get it. Kevin?
And thank you for that, Doris. A minute 50 left in the fourth quarter. Westbrook against Billups. Westbrook kicks to Durant. Back to Westbrook. There's the lob to the hoop. And he lays in the alley-oop. And the Thunder lead by 3.
Nice silky finish on the alley-oop.
That sequence, I don't think Clark could have been executed any better.
Stupendous feed.
Boy, I hope we see a few more of those.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're down by 3. 1:36 left to play here in the fourth. .136 left in the fourth quarter. And Billups, here we go. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
Drop that one in as soft as a feather using the finger roll.
Westbrook with it. Gives him the lead pass. Ibaka dishes to Westbrook. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Cephalosha. This one for 3. The shot no good. Now the Pistons take it the other way. The drive by Smith. Pass to Billups. Back to Smith to take the lead. Kevin Durant with the rebound.
Even though he missed it, he couldn't pass up that chance.
Yeah, that's an easy jump shot. You got to take that.
Oh, what a basket, and at the perfect time.
How about the courage and backbone of this guy? Wow.
Free throw, no good for Drummond. Oklahoma City's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Billups against Westbrook. Here's the feed to Durant. He's against Smith. It's Durant with the drive. It's Chauncey Billups with the rebound. And that's an intentional foul. Good on the first, and that will put them up by 2. Second one is good. We both at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Perfect time to be perfect at the line. Now only a 3 can tie it.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They're losing by 3. 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
Well, they've got 2 options here. They can go for the 3 and the tie, or the quick 2 and the foul.
I like the idea of going for the quick 2. Take it to the rim, and that wouldn't be a bad way to approach this situation.
Westbrook up top. He's guarded by Billups. Westbrook passes to Ibaka. Good! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
That's really told the story today, guys. I mean, throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and then finish.
Yeah, Clark, they've been more active and more physical down low, and I think that's been the difference.
you know, they've got a foul to give here if they need it.
Well, definitely something to keep in mind for them right now. They can be very aggressive.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. They trail by 1. 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
Well, you've got the luxury here of running a play, so you want to do something that you're very comfortable with.
Absolutely, Steve. I mean, no need to panic whatsoever. I mean, they're in a very good